I'm 88 years old and I'm still feeling my Cheerios.
What's that, Thea?
That's a cereal that gives you a lot of energy.
She's got the energy. Learn how you can too in today's Lunch Yak. Hey everybody! This is a very, very special guest today. This is my Thea Lucy, which in Greek that is my aunt, but she's actually my great aunt. So Thea, say hi to everybody.
Hi everybody.
She is 88 years old, as you guys just heard, and she is kicking. So I want to interview her today so that way you guys can learn how to live a long, healthy life and get old gracefully. So Thea, my first question for you is, what is your favorite kind of food?
Well, I've got so many. Where do I start?
Wherever you'd like to start.
My favorite food, salmon patties.
Salmon patties, that's what we're having for dinner tonight, right?
That's right.
And I have to admit, I really don't like fish anymore. My taste buds changed, but dude, Thea's salmon patties, they're good. Like, I will eat them. They are delicious. Okay, so Thea, if there's one small change in diet and exercise that you would recommend someone young to make that will affect their life when they're older, what do you think it would be? Like one simple change somebody could make.
Well, if they're not exercising, they should.
Exercise, okay, exercising regularly. And then
eating properly.
Okay.
Eating a proper diet.
What's an example of a meal that you would have?
Well, I usually have everything that's baked. I bake, I don't fry. A lot of baked steamed veggies, a lot of veggies.
Yes.
And I've cut the sugar content of my diet down to almost 10%.
Okay.
I still like my little dark chocolate.
Oh yes, I know, we have that. That's a nice little treat.
Well, in the last few years, I just learned that excessive sugar content in our bodies does a lot of damage. Okay. So here I am spending hundreds of dollars on my vitamins, my good eating habits, and then I turn around and eat a lot of sweets, and it messes them up.
That's right. And we've talked a lot about sugar too, so you guys know I've mentioned a few times to limit sugar consumption, and this is where I got it from. So learning from Thea, and something else I learned from Thea was, Thea, why don't you tell them about like what your diet was kind of like growing up? Oh my gosh,
it was just from pure food. There were no steroids, there were no antibiotics in our meat like it is today. The water was clean and fresh, streams that we would drink from.
Right.
And you can't do that hardly anywhere.
Right, yeah, now
So
today.
Everything was from scratch. My mom cooked from scratch. We never had the microwaves in my early years. No microwaving. It was all steamed, sauteed. She had a good, and we didn't have a lot of sweets in our home.
Right.
The only time we had sweets were about 2 times a year during the holidays, and then she would bake these Greek pastries, awfully good.
Oh,
Baklava,
oh, that
and
sounds good.
koulambias and all.
Oh yes, Thea taught me how to make finikias before. That was really fun. But just, I know that today everything's really fast paced, so it's really hard to have everything fresh. But something that I do and that I learned from Thea was I'll make like a big meal on Sundays or whatever day of the week works for you, where you might not have as much going on as normal. And then I freeze like individual portions of it. So I'll cook everything from scratch and then I'll freeze it. So it's kind of like having a frozen fast meal, but it's all healthy stuff that I made and not with all the preservatives and stuff from the store.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose my voice now too.
She's gonna, if she keeps this up, she's gonna live 100 years.
That's what I'm going for. Hey, I'm learning from you. I told you, Thea.
I only have 12 more.
No, you got more than 12. You're just gonna keep going, Thea. That's how this works. All right, so something else too is I feel like there's a stereotype as people grow older where a lot of people feel like they're not all with it.
I laugh about this. When and if I go to a doctor, and when they did some stress tests years ago, they look at us, they look at our chart, they're 80, 70, 60-year-old people, and they take this, the medical people take this attitude, they look at you like you don't know what they're going to tell you, and they'll talk to somebody that's with you because maybe you don't understand. So one time they put me on this stress test, and the nurse took me by the arm and she said, and this was when I was about 70, maybe 60, late 60s, and she went, "Now, Mrs. Wood, we're going to step you up on this little machine and you will begin to walk, go at your own pace like I was some dumb duh." And I looked at her and I looked at her and I'm thinking, Okay, lady, I'm going to show you. So I got on the machine, and she said, now take your time, and we're only going to guide this thing to the point where you can go. And then she gave me this number that I should reach. So I got on that blessed thing, and man, I was going.
That's right, you were cooking.
I was cooking, I was going, and she was just looking at me.
You are only as old as you feel. And Thea, how old did you tell me you felt last time I saw you?
Like 25.
That's right. What do you think has helped your mind to stay all there all these years?
I think it's a blessing for one thing to have a good mind.
Yes.
I believe studying, working on puzzles. For me, it was getting into the Word, into the Bible and stuff like that. And in anything that you do, that you read, good stuff. I don't mean the junk stuff that's out there today.
Yeah, so trying to just be uplifted and surrounding yourself with positivity.
And positive people.
Yes.
Do not associate with negative ones because we love them. They're to be loved. But if they're so negative, you don't want them to drag you down. Always go with someone
better. Or try to help lift them up. Try to help lift them up too, to help someone who's looking at things negatively, positively as well.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, Thea, do you have any other words of wisdom, of advice you'd like to share for living a very long, healthy life and getting old gracefully?
You know what? It's just loving people, loving people. And we're here with a purpose. And so we're to love one another, to try to help people if they need help, intellectually, spiritually, physically, whatever way it is, to help people to be encouraged, to lift them up, and whatever you can do to make a human being feel worthy. 90% should be a good attitude in your life.
Yes.
And the 10, if there's something that's 10 that's not worth, you look at it, you think, okay, this is not good, but you know what? It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And as you have that positive and believe it and trust in that, the attitude means a lot.
Yeah, so this is what I was blessed with to grow up with, was learning all of these things through Thea. So I wanted you all to get to meet her and learn a little bit about how she was able to live a long, healthy life. So now we have one last thing for you guys. Thea, we need to do the victory dance.
Oh.
The victory dance.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Should we stand?
Yeah.
Or we'll do it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
here
right.
we go. Victory dance.
Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! May you all reach to be 88 and even older. We can do it. We can.
One more victory dance?
One more victory dance. All right. Woohoo!
Good job, Thea. That was great. Oh, that was so much fun.
Ready to talk about stuff?
Born ready for everything.
All right, guys, this is called Lunch Yak, and oh, by the way, this is Erin.
What's up?
Hey, I'm Elizabeth. So on our lunch breaks and stuff, since we just don't know how to actually take a break, we feel like, hey, we'll just film stuff and talk about stuff.
I like it.
And yeah, and we always debate on gym passes, whether we should get them or not, so.
I'm pro gym pass. She's not anti,
You don't
but
have to tell them yet. You just gave away the debate.
show's over.
Bye, guys.